What did Barack Hussein Obama know, and when did he know it? Tonight, we will unravel the biggest abuse of power scandal in American history, and it is more clear than ever before. Barack knew a lot. How much? We're going to dig deep tonight. Also, how involved was the former president in deep state spying, Russian disinformation, prosecutorial misconduct, unmasking, weaponizing intelligence? All roads now lead right into his Oval Office. And breaking just moments ago, acting DNI Director Rick Grinnell is now seeking to declassify any Obama officials involved in the illegal unmasking of General Flynn. We will explain. This is a huge development. Also, Chuck Todd, he got caught red-handed manufacturing fake news. Shocker. Humpty Dumpty, fake news. CNN is having a meltdown, and the Communist Party of China is trying to steal our COVID-19 vaccine research. And a 300% jump in sidewalk homeless camps in San Francisco is now causing a massive outbreak. Nancy, maybe you could bring some ice cream or build a homeless shelter with all your rich friends and your multi-million-dollar mansions in your gated community. But we begin tonight with our top story, and that is President Trump is calling it Obamagate. Now, Flynn attorney Sidney Powell is accusing the former president of participating in a plot to frame General Flynn. And tonight, huge news. Acting DNI Director Rick Grinnell is now vowing to declassify the names of any Obama official involved in the unmasking of Lieutenant General Flynn during his foreign surveillance. This is a huge development. Now, keep in mind, the Obama administration has long been accused of improperly unmasking Flynn and others in order to gain a backdoor to spy first on the Trump campaign, then his transition team, and then later his presidency. Deep into his presidency, as A.G. Barr has said. Now, this comes as newly released interview transcripts from the Intel committee that the congenital liar Schiff was hiding show that Obama had an unusual interest in the case against Lieutenant General Flynn. Now, by January 4th, remember, 2017, is only a mere 16 days before the president is inaugurated. The FBI's Russia collusion investigation, they found zero derogatory material on Lieutenant General Flynn. His case was all but closed until FBI leadership, in a panic, demanded that they reopen it. And on the very next day, January 5th, 2017, then President Obama held a meeting with all of his top intel and security officials. That would be Clapper, Brennan, Comey, Rice, Yates, Biden, and others. And after the meeting in the Oval Office, he then pulled both FBI Director James Comey and the Deputy Attorney General Sally Yates aside for the purpose of discussing Flynn. Now we know from the testimony released late last week that Sally Yates testified she was shocked to learn that Obama had complete intimate knowledge of Flynn's wiretap phone calls. I'd say illegally, probably. On January 20th, 2017, in the final hours of the Obama administration, remember, National Security Advisor Susan Rice, remember, she went back. She sent herself a very unusual email. And what is a blatant CYA maneuver, she referenced the president's January 5th meeting in the Oval Office. This is on January 20th, 15 days later, and said that Obama said he wanted all the investigations to be done by the book. Said it 15 days ago. Why are you writing this on Trump's inauguration day? Why is Susan Rice memorializing a meeting about Flynn in the Oval Office? Do everything by the book, Obama said. Can it be any more obvious that the person that lied on 5 Sunday shows about Benghazi was scared to death that Obama's plotting and scheming would soon be exposed? Now, in the days and weeks to come, Comey's FBI took unusual, aggressive, and frankly unethical measures to persecute General Flynn, 33-year vet, knowing he was an innocent man. Comey, McCabe, Strzok co-ambushed General Flynn at the White House on day 4 of the new administration. By the way, he called over to the deputy FBI director, McCabe, and McCabe, he advised General Flynn that he did not need a lawyer present. He knew better. They significantly altered his original 302. We now, as of late last week, have that evidence. And then they turned the screws on General Flynn. They threatened him with years behind bars. They threatened to lock up his son. Legal bills had already forced this guy at one point to go bankrupt. He lost his family home, all over a simple process crime that they concluded never took place. And yet, by the way, former President Obama is still out for blood. Now, the interesting thing is both Susan Rice and Samantha Power said, oh, yeah, they were speaking with their counterparts before they entered the Obama White House, the very thing they were complaining General Flynn did. Now, an audio obtained by Yahoo News, well, a very sanctimonious, self-righteous, angry Barack Obama is downright apoplectic that Flynn won't likely be spending years behind bars as a convicted felon. We'll explain his hypocrisy and double standard in a second, but first listen to this.
The fact that there is no precedent that anybody can find for someone who's been charged with perjury just getting off scot-free. That's the kind of stuff where you begin to get worried that basic, not just institutional norms, but our basic understanding of rule of law is at risk.
Someone charged with perjury gets off scot-free and wrongs and break the rules. OK, despite what you just heard, Barack, perhaps you forgot. There's an actual precedent from you. One of your favorite military advisors, retired General James Cartwright. Well, he's convicted of lying to the FBI. But guess what? In 2017, Barack Obama, the hypocrite, he issued a full pardon for his favorite general. Oh, the rule of law is in jeopardy. In other words, General Cartwright got off scot-free. And he set the precedent. Obama did. Of course, the Flynn case was never about a simple process crime. Instead, it was part of what was a larger plot to destroy the incoming president. Look at the timeline. August 15, 2016. Peter Strzok, he compared that to an insurance policy in the unlikely event that Donald Trump wins the election. September 2nd, 2016, his lover, Lisa Page, texting Peter Strzok, President Obama, quote, wants to know everything that we are doing. So that clearly states Obama not only approved of the persecution, but he now seems to be orchestrating it. And now they're trying to cover their tracks. So, again, the question tonight, Barack, what did you know and when did you know it? Joe, what did you know and when did you know it? Because at the time, everything the deep state was doing was corrupt to the core. Multiple Trump campaign associates and officials were being wiretapped, spied on, confidential human sources. They lied to obtain FISA warrants. They took away Carter Page's, civil liberties, constitutional rights. He was the subject of 4 fraudulent FISA applications, 1 year of his life, that relied on what? Hillary's dirty Russian disinformation dossier, which apparently we now know from Podesta's testimony that they knew was from Russia. Now, Comey's FBI knew the material was unverifiable garbage, and it was bought and paid for by the Clinton campaign. They were warned repeatedly before the first FISA application. Don't trust Steele. Hillary paid for it, and it's unverified. And according to newly released transcripts from Podesta, even Hillary Clinton knew full well her campaign was paying someone to dig up Russian dirt on Donald Trump. But let not your hearts be troubled. Answers now seem to be forthcoming, thanks to the Attorney General, thanks to Prosecutor Durham, Attorney General Barr. Investigations now are moving forward full throttle. And by the way, being coordinated with several other U.S. attorneys on this case. And unlike previous Inspector General investigations, this, according to the Attorney General Barr, is not about a new report. No, this is a criminal investigation, and prosecutions hopefully will be in the works, because unlike the Inspector General, they can convene a grand jury, they can indict people, and they can prosecute them. And tonight, many current and former officials, they have reason to be worried. My source is telling me tonight that some of them are now lawyered up with the biggest names and most expensive lawyers in Washington, D.C. Perhaps they know what's coming.